What's up, guys? Welcome to another week recap show where we dive deeper into some of the stories that I might have glossed over and felt like I didn't hammer enough or hit on enough. And this story, this idea, this thing has kind of been mulling over in my head. I hope you guys enjoy it. But it's after I made this silly video about mocking Biden getting ice cream and how the media and all these people around him are clapping him like he's our supreme leader. And I put a clip on of North Korea in the background clapping their supreme leader as he walks in, and people are just all excited, even though people are starving and people are trying to defect and run away from the country, and people are in internment camps and labor camps for the rest of their lives, and families have been murdered and stuff like that. They don't care. They still clapping because they're fearful of their lives. And Joe Biden was getting ice cream, and they were so excited to see him. But he said something in the video that I think is easily glossed over. And people were making fun of him getting, including myself, we're making fun of him getting ice cream. We're making fun of just how silly the media were treating him in that moment and how excited they were. And just you could just feel the bias. I don't know if it was all the media clapping, because there was definitely supporters around him, just excited to see him, whatever. But yeah, some of the media, it seems like they're just excited to talk to him, as always, and they're always covering for him, if we could be honest. But he said something in this video that I'm going to get to right after I get to this. Representative Connolly, because it goes in line, calls for Biden to create January 6th commission, even though Republicans shot it down. Governor Connolly called for the vice president to create a commission to study the January 6th insurrection after Senate Republicans this weekend defeated a bill to establish a bipartisan panel to examine the riot. And this is a quote coming from Connolly. In light of the GOP's cowardly filibuster of the bipartisan January 6th commission, don't you love that? A little bipartisan. I urge President Biden to form and appoint a presidential commission to fully investigate the insurrection at the United States Capitol. Despite it not going through, they're not done. They want this to continue. They want this to be the year that they crush Republicans. When Donald Trump was in power, everything they talked about was Russian, the Russian influence. He's a Russian agent. He's a secret Russian agent. We should put everyone to the sword. We should have a commission that goes out and looks at what Donald Trump's been doing. They don't actually care about the people they serve. They don't care about you and me, all these politicians. They care about making themselves look good. They want their Instagram moment. They want their influencer rating to go up higher. They want, when they log on to Instagram and do an Instagram live like AOC, they want to have millions of people watching them like they're a celebrity. They don't actually want to serve you and make your life better. They want to look better. And so this year is going to be the year of the January 6th commission of back and forth, and it's all about a show. It's all about to prove, hey, we're doing stuff. And so when the next election comes along, the focus isn't about all these crappy Democratic policies, these liberal policies that are ruining cities, like police are quitting, crime has gone up way up, the dollar is flattening, we continue to print more money, people aren't filling out jobs because they're still on minimum wage. They're getting their government checks, unemployment, because unemployment, some states still have the benefits. There's so much going on. Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Palestine. We're still not pulled out of Afghanistan. There's just a lot of stuff going down. As I saw a new general come out and say, we need to stay in Afghanistan. I don't think Biden's going to pull out. I know all these liberals have this idea, like these liberals thought that he was going to cancel the student debt. Now he's not. And now I don't think I have a bet going on with a few friends that he's not going to pull out of Afghanistan. There'll be a reason to stay there, I guarantee it. Let's continue this quote, though. To fully investigate the insurrection at the United States Capitol, to identify the individuals and organizations who who plotted or were involved in these violent acts. And were they all violent? A lot of the people are already been charged, and then a lot of the charges have been trespassing, not murder. But let's continue. And to make recommendations to prevent such attack from ever occurring, and that's the big kicker. This is going to be a ploy, what I believe, to crack down even more on social media, because I think and they believe that all these QAnon, these Trump supporters, these conservatives, these libertarians, because they all put you all in the same box, and they say, hey, we got to monitor what's going on these social chat rooms, these AOL chat rooms, people putting in ASL, people wanting to know more information, people getting together in groups, maybe even meetup groups and stuff like that. We need to infiltrate these groups to see what they're talking about so it never happens again. They want more regulations. They want your freedom of speech to be taken away from you, especially online. They like that idea because there's control involved. They can control the narrative. They can control your speech. They can control what goes on in government and what goes on in the community and society if you're not allowed to talk about your opinions, because those opinions are seen as hate speech, you're conspiracy theorists, you're pushing misinformation, etc. Even if you're telling jokes. I've made joking videos on YouTube that have been taken down, and I've appealed saying, hey, this is clearly a joke. I'm not pushing information, though the information I was saying was directly from the CDC website, of course, but I was just purely joking. I was like, this is clearly a joke, and if you don't think it's a joke, you have real issues, because I'm wearing a freaking tinfoil hat for one. Okay, I'm not seriously putting one on because I think it's going to save me from something. So Connolly, the chairman, is pushing this even more. They want to continue this narrative because their policies are failing. Because then we'll actually have to do real research or see what their real policies are doing. We have to be remembered of how negative, how bad these Trump supporters were, and how they ruined our country. And how it's the January 6th riot is a stain on our nation's history for the rest of our lives. It's going to be seen in the same light as the Civil War. That's the most insane comment, insane thought that you could possibly think of, but that's what they want you to believe. And so I go back to this Biden video that I made it as a joke, and but something he said slipped by to me, and I think not enough people talked about this, and I'm going to talk about it after we listen to this clip. Let's listen to this clip. Ready?
Oh, good. I like your Ray-Bans.
I like your Ray-Bans. I like your Ray-Bans in your hair. Oh my God, President Biden, you're so amazing.
What you're doing for the country.
I like what you're doing for the country. I love all these people. What is he doing for the country? Vaccines. He's doing a great job. Let's keep going.
Choco Choco Chip.
Oh, Choco Choco Chip.
What is your message to Republicans who are prepared to block the January 6th commission?
Okay, that's the question that I did not hammer on enough. Asking President Biden, what is your message to Republicans who are blocking? I love how they keep calling it bipartisan. You got a couple of Republicans on there, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, we're all agreeing on this except for these fringe conservatives that we should ban from all committees. All right, let's go back. Let's listen.
Eat some Choco Choco Chip.
Right, there it is right there. Let's listen to it one more time.
Republicans who are prepared to block the January 6th commission.
Eat some Choco Choco Chip.
Yeah. His response to her question is a joke. And it's funny, it's goofy, and it's silly, but I think it's very telling. Because if these liberals, these Democrats really believed it was Civil War, it was 9/11, it was World War II, it was Pearl Harbor, all these terrible things mashed together, Do you think he would make a joke like that? Do you think he would laugh about it? Hey, Biden, what is your message to Hitler? He's got Jews in internment camps, and he's killing them by the thousands per day. Eat some Choco Choco Chip. No. Hey, Biden, what is your message to Taliban and ISIS and these regimes that want to murder us? Hey, and they flew planes into towers and killed thousands of people. What's your message to them? Oh, eat some chocolate chip ice cream. Hey, Biden, what is your message to Japan, who just destroyed one of our biggest naval bases in Hawaii and killed thousands of people and destroyed ships and attacked us for no reason? We weren't at war with Japan. What is your message to them? Eat some more chocolate chip ice cream. Hey, Biden, what is your message to the slaves in the South that were fighting the Civil War, or just the war of northern aggression? What is your message to these slaves that want freedom? What is your message to them? Eat some more chocolate ice cream. No. He would not say any of these crazy ideas if they were that serious. You might say, Derek, that's it's over the top. I just don't. Is it though? Because if I was the president and I wanted to make leftist liberals look bad, but if they did something that wasn't that bad, I'd probably make a joke like that too. Because I know deep down in my heart that it wasn't as big of a deal as we're making it out to be. Yes, it was a big deal. Again, I've said it a million times. January 6th thing, so dumb. People that got in there, that was a stupid idea. That's exactly what they wanted to happen. Was it all them? Was it Antifa mix? I have no freaking idea. I wasn't there. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to just be like, it feels like it wasn't Trump supporters, so it definitely wasn't. We don't know. We have video. We have some things. There was things that didn't make sense. So maybe a commission would be a good thing. So it might open up to how dumb it was, or maybe how infiltrated some things were, or why they were just allowed to. I've seen videos where cops are telling the shaman, walk peacefully through here. And they're like, hey, okay, guys, let's walk peacefully. And he's like, okay, go ahead. That's weird. But Biden makes a joke. Eat Choco Choco Chip. Because why? Because they know this this January 6th commission is stupid. And they know it's just dumb politics deep down inside. And Biden's getting to that age where he just spits off, and without thinking sometimes, not thinking through the political lens of like, hey, I need to watch what I say in this moment because it's going to make my party look bad or whatever. But I'm gonna continue the video because then he seriously goes into it. But if he really thought this was just as bad, which he's about to say, as the Civil War, a stain on our history, etc., 9/11, what Schumer called Pearl Harbor, I think Schumer also called. Everyone's called it these outrageous things as they're on their Senate on the floor and they're making their speeches for their constituents, their voters, their people in their district to make them look good, and where people can give little claps like, you did it, you did a speech, yay. Biden doesn't care. He knows this is full crap. He knows this is a political ploy. He knows this is just so his party can smash and tarnish the name of conservatism or GOP, and so they try to conflict and put all the people there were in the same. There was over 85 million people that voted for Trump. How many people were at the Capitol? Not even close to that number. So to say that all Trump voters are the same is so dumb. But that's what they do. They put them together. Some ways conservatives do that to liberals, where they're like, "Oh, all liberals are Antifa." I don't agree with that. I think everyone should be treated as an individual in some aspects. But if you align, if you're out with Antifa, I assume you're part of them. But he's going to continue. Let's continue.
Eat some chocolate chip.
Yeah, you some ice cream.
Yeah, okay. before I continue, can you just hear his little supporter crowd that's following him around? Yeah, eat some ice cream. They don't even believe it's that big of a deal. Wouldn't you like if I can't hammer this enough. If you knew what was going on during World War II, during the Jewish internment, okay, if you knew what was going on during Pearl Harbor and all those thousands of soldiers, those people that died, and and you made that joke, and a bunch of supporters were like, yeah, just eat Choco Chip. Who cares about all the soldiers that died and the ships that we ruined, and now we're going to war, World War II, after we just fought a war? Yeah! Come on. These people are insane. Let's keep going.
To see compromise and common ground on that?
On the commission,
Here we go.
I think it's. I can't imagine anyone voting against the establishment of a commission on the greatest assault since the Civil War on the Capitol. But at any rate, I came for ice cream.
Exactly. Exactly, because that's what it's about. It's about sending a message. It's not about actually believing it's a terrible thing. It's about the message. It's about pushing the political agenda. It's about politics as usual and how politicians are all full of crap and they don't actually care about making a difference. They don't care about your life. That's why they push these policies down your throat like more spending and more spending. Is it going to make a difference to them? No, but is it going to make a difference to you? Yes. Is it going to make a difference to your kids, your grandkids? Absolutely. They don't care about that. They just care about the moment. He's having ice cream. He's having a laugh. We're all having a good time. And I would make a joke like that too, because it's not that big of a deal. I would say, who gives a crap? We have laws. Enforce them. It's like hate crime laws. We have laws on the book. Do we need it? No. But we need to make a political stance about it, because these hate crime laws need to be taken more seriously. You're not just murdering somebody. You're murdering someone with hate in your heart, as opposed to murdering someone with love in your heart and having a good day. I was just having a good day and I shot you. God. Are you like me? Are you tired of politicians? Are you tired of the BS that's just spread over and over and over again? They talk with their mouth, but they don't do anything. So we saw Rand Paul this week also just come out and say, we got to get rid of this whole Trump thing. Liz Cheney is so worried about that too. Instead of focusing on Trump, why don't you listen to your voters? Listen to the people that you serve. What if all those people want Trump? Then maybe you're in the wrong. And then maybe you just govern the best that you can, as opposed to just talking about other politicians. Why don't you talk about actual bills? Why don't you talk about the bill that's trying to get passed? Why don't you tell us why going $6 trillion more in debt is a good thing? Why don't you tell me about what's really in the bill, as opposed to calling it the infrastructure bill? Tell me what the bulk goes to. Why are we giving money to all these countries? I just saw a video by Rand Paul the other day. Love the guy. Seems like the only person that has a brain sometimes, especially in the Republican Party. But he is talking about, why did we give $850,000 to the Palestinian, was it Palestinian? It's some Middle Eastern cricket team. Because we have to have that? Our tax dollars needs to go to a cricket team? I've seen other just ridiculous animal studies being pressed. We're in massive debt. And we have all these politicians playing with monopoly money, playing with fun money, while you and I are scraping the barrel trying to make ends meet sometimes. And we have all these politicians that are spending all their time coming up with a January 6th commission instead of opening up the country back up, finding how to fix our debt, dealing with China. Is the Wuhan lab leak thing real? And if it is real, how are we going to respond? What's going to be the actions taken by America and maybe globally, because it affected the entire globe? Especially the globe. India, What is their response if the lab leak is real? What about all these scientists that were told to shut their freaking mouth and now are being vindicated daily? Why don't we talk about that? No, we're talking about January 6th still. Like it's the real problem. Like it's the real issue in our country we need to talk about. Like it was such a stain on our country. Like the Civil War. This is what happens when you don't know history. This is what happens when you don't teach children history. Is that they accept this crap down their throats. They think it's real. They think, wow, Joe Biden, he's president. He was elected. He seems like a nice guy. The media makes him out to be like this stand-up figure. If you ain't vote for me, you're not black. They make him try to seem like a nice person. But they're just politicians. They're just full of crap. And I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of just the regular politics as usual. Maybe you're like me. I watch a lot of liberal podcasts because I like to see the other side. I like to have pretend arguments in my head with them sometimes. There's this a prominent liberal podcast that I follow, and his big take is that conservatives don't accept any information as fact. That despite every information he puts forward, he says, well, I don't trust that source. And so he feels like he can't have an argument with somebody that all the sources he puts out in front of them, he doesn't trust. They don't trust. And he doesn't understand why. He thinks they're just lunacy, conspiracy theorists, crazy. And that's what we're arguing with. That's what we're talking to. We're talking to people who think you're insane for thinking things like January 6th was a big deal, but we don't need to talk about it anymore, and it's being blown out of proportion. A bigger deal was the riots that happened all year long that no one's talking about, as Kamala Harris and other prominent figures bailed out all these rioters that destroyed communities. Way more people were killed during the riots all summer long that were supposed to be peaceful protests and bringing about social change and unity and all these things where tons of people died. Lots of black people died. Houses were ruined. Businesses were destroyed. Those businesses that are in predominantly black communities were destroyed. A lot of them might not come back. I just saw a CVS in Chicago is closing. That's in an inner city. Because people steal from it too often and the cops don't care and they can't do anything about it. And they're told not to do anything about it. But stores like that can't stay open. They can't make money if people just steal from it. I know all these like people that think, hey, that's reparations. We'll just take and they'll be just fine. They're a multimillionaire company. But if you're a millionaire, you're smart. So why would you stay in an area that just sucks your money away? You don't. So a lot of these places are going to be more desert-like, especially because of the pandemic. What do you think that's going to do for crime? As crime goes up, the cops are told not to go, like in Chicago. Hey, you getting a foot chase? Relax. Don't chase. You can cause more damage if you chase a suspect, if you think they're not harming anyone. We live in a crazy world, and people think you're insane for thinking things like that. They think you're a conspiracy theorist. As they change definitions, they change pronouns, they change they go off of how they feel. They try to make it out like it's this logical argument that they can engage with, but I don't see it. Every time I get into any kind of spats online with a leftist liberal, I'm always like, come on my show, let's talk. They never accept it. And I wouldn't invite somebody on my show. Like, when people come on my show that have different opinions, I like it. And I just want to talk. I want to engage in conversation. I'm not here to have my moment to make you look stupid. I'm going to ask you questions. A lot of whys. Why do you believe this? Why do you feel that way? Why do you think that's true? Because I enjoy that. I'm weird like that. I don't like the tribalism, the two factions, the right and wrong. I like the gray areas. I like different opinions. I like coming out with different philosophies and different ideologies and theologies and the way we believe and move and raise our families and what's true and what's not true. I like getting in that discussion. It's interesting to me. I'm not here to have a gotcha moment. I think this whole January 6th thing is just a political crap that is being pushed, and people are believing the hype. People believe the hype about Russiagate. Rachel Maddow, I saw this week, she's just mad that Biden's not taking the Russian thing seriously enough about President Donald Trump. That's her main gripe with Biden. He's just not. He needs to look into it because I made my name off of it, and now my name is tarnished, and now I look stupid, and you're making me look stupid.
Come on, man.
But, come on, man. It's just politics as usual, isn't it? We're going through the cycle. I urge you to engage in conversation with other people who think differently than you. Help them with facts, but also know that a lot of these people who believe like Biden, Senator Colony, AOC, Pelosi, people in my family, they think you're insane for saying otherwise. They will literally write you off for saying something different, a different opinion, and say, here's what we believe. And if you don't believe in it, we can't have a conversation. And it goes both ways in some degree, whereas I have my beliefs, and I'm like, if we could, but my beliefs are mainly on words and definitions of words. If we can't define a word, or if the word keeps changing its definition, we can never have a conversation with someone. But they're like, hey, if you have to say that Biden was fairly elected, you have to say that January 6th riots were insane, you have to say that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia, you have to acknowledge these facts. And if you can't, I can't have a conversation with you because you're insane. You believe all these QAnon, Trump conspiracy theorists, and you're part of the problem. We should lock you up and put you in a re-education program. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Please email me at thederekoshayshow@gmail.com, or you can contact me on any social media platform. I'd be happy to engage with you in conversation. Also, if you want to come on my show, come on my show. Let's have a conversation. I want to do more conversations with people, normal people like me. I don't need influencers on my show. I enjoy meeting with just people. And if you have somebody you think I should invite on my show, email me or write to me and say, hey, I think you should invite this person on the show, and they'd be willing to. I know this person. I'll hit them up, etc. I just want to engage with people. I want to talk about culture. I want to talk about politics. I would love to have a nightly live show with just regular people having regular conversations. I would love that. Let me know if you would like to do that. Email me or contact me on any social media platform. I would love to engage with conversation with you, especially if you believe something different than me. Again, I've come out of the closet fully. I'm very conservative, libertarian, and I have a little sprinkles of liberalness sprinkled in here and there because I think life is more not black and white, but colored and has gray areas too. Because sometimes we change our opinions, people, and I do it all the time. And I'm not going to pretend like it's either this way or the highway. And if you have a good argument, I'm not going to listen to it because, well, Ted Cruz told me not to, or Rand Paul told me not to, or AOC told me not to, or whatever politician you closely follow. I don't care. But yes. Let's have a conversation. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. Come on my show because I'm tired of these politicians creating the narrative and making it seem like the small majority of people are actually in control of the narrative, and they makes you kind of feel alone if you think differently. That's why I started this podcast, because I am in a very heavily liberal area where I live, and I feel alone a lot of the times politically. I feel like I'm not allowed to speak up, and especially the career I'm in, which is kind of a career that I could lose my job over just being conservative or having conservative ideologies. And maybe that's why I have a little bit of liberalness sprinkled in. I don't know. But so sometimes I feel alone. And I don't think that's a good thing. I see that as a negative thing. I think we should be free to talk. But we've created, on both sides in some degree, such tribalism that we write off people because of who they voted for. Or we just say that they're insane or lunatic, or I can't have a conversation. I can't have a logical conversation. I can have a logical conversation with anyone. And again, I want to have a conversation with people. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not here to put you to trial and make you look stupid. I don't care about that. It's not real life. God. Some of these political shows just don't represent real life. Real life is sitting, having conversations, talking with people, not letting these politicians dictate how you feel, because their main goal is to stay in power. They hate term limits. I'm all about term limits. They hate the idea of term limits. They don't want to ever give up their power. Just like Joe Biden said, hey, these Republicans that are against the January 6th should just eat some ice cream. That's right. Just eat your ice cream, shut your mouth, and push this bill down your throats and eat it and enjoy it. I know it tastes like crap, but remember, just think about it. It's chocolate ice cream. Have a great day, people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. Oh, whoa. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to do a tribute. Have a great rest of the day. And as always, I'm going to do a tribute on Memorial Day like I did last year. As I read off the names of the soldiers that died last year. I read every single name out. And I think it's, I think it's a good show. Maybe you'll tune in for it. Maybe I'll do it live. But I just remember last year I cried. Because sometimes, just thinking about soldiers that gave their lives for our freedom is cool and sad, and you respect it. But there's another level when you look at a picture of their face and read their name out loud and their accomplishments and all that stuff. And maybe the families they left behind. I think there's a lot of power in names. Sounds like a podcast. There's a lot of power in names. Have a great day. Thank you again for so much. If you serve this country, thank you for serving. You have way bigger balls than me. Have a great day.